What's up, War Report family? It is officially week 1 of the college football season, and we are here to talk about all of the matchups in the SEC this week. Let's get straight to it in the latest edition of the Midweek Report. Everyone, welcome into the latest edition of the Midweek Report, brought to you by the folks at the Rage Room. 2 locations to service your anger needs: Opelika and Birmingham, 1510 2nd Avenue in Opelika, or 2616 7th Avenue South in Opelika. Both places have plenty of things to break. Birmingham has access to throw. So you have a lot of ways in which you can release any rage that you have right there at the Rage Room. Before we get into our picks this week, we are definitely going to need you guys to get the word out there to everybody by sharing this content on social media at the War Report. And if you don't mind subscribing to the channel, we'll definitely appreciate that so that we can have as much participation as possible with that. Mike G, before we get into it, go ahead and tell the people ways that they can support the great work.
Yeah, you guys know the deal. Become a sponsor of the War Report. This is what I'm going to start telling y'all. Become a sponsor of the War Report by hitting that join button. $5.99 a month, people. That's it. That's all it takes to feed a starving kid in Alabama. In Hoover, Alabama. They're starving in Hoover, aren't they? But we're here for you guys. Be here for us. $5.99 a month. We appreciate everybody who does this. You can also give the gift of the War Report by hitting that gifted membership button. Guys, it's that time. It's Wednesday. It's our Wednesday ritual. We're giving away tickets. That's it. Now, as you can see here, Heisman finalist Peyton Thorne is on this graphic, and he's telling you to go to our comment section. Our community section. Look for the graphic. Leave a comment that says "War Damn Tickets," and you're entered. You got to be here to win, though. So, guys, if you're watching this right now and you have not put that in there, I know all of y'all haven't, and you want some tickets, War Damn Tickets, go to the community section on our YouTube channel. Look for community, the word community, War Damn Tickets, and we're going to draw here sometime later in the show. I'm not even going to tell you guys when, because you got to be here for the whole thing to catch it.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's get straight over into it. We got Dylan from the College Loop joining us tonight. As always, we're going to be doing picks for every game in the SEC. We're going to get it started this week talking about the boring stuff. I don't know anybody who's super excited about this game.
I thought you were taking a shot at Kalen the DeBoer by saying the boring.
Nah.
No,
we'll get to Kalen DeBoer shots later.
Kalen DeBoer.
But we are going to start it off talking about the game that is a war inside the state of Arkansas, I guess. Arkansas Pine Bluff taking on Arkansas at so I didn't realize. I knew it wasn't at the actual stadium where Arkansas is, but this is like their secondary home stadium or whatever. And also, while making these graphics for today's show, I realized just how many stadiums around the country have the word memorial in it. There are so many memorial stadiums for collegiate teams that play. But anyway, this first one is Arkansas versus Arkansas Pine Bluff. Is anybody taking the upset here? Because if not, we're going to keep this thing.
Yeah, look, I like Arkansas to win, but I don't like them to cover. This
48.5 is a huge.
Yeah, I don't like them to cover. I think they're terrible, and I don't think they'll cover.
Is this the Petrino bump? Like, are they just Petrino's going to get them points?
Yeah, right. Yeah, 48. I mean, is it going to be 49-0? Is that going to be the final score of this game?
I don't know.
He's going to pull a Iowa, try to just get the average out of the way.
I know.
Yeah.
But am I to believe on Thursday night we're all not going to have this game and the Missouri game on both on a 2-panel on YouTube TV? Is someone else going to do that, or is that just
I'm
me?
probably gonna watch the game
Yeah.
because we play Arkansas this year, so I want to see what they're gonna look like in the first game. Still got love for T. Will down there as the defensive coordinator,
man.
and it's football. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, I gotta watch the game. Plus, I have to have something to talk about in on Sunday when we go back to what did we see, because I unfortunately missed this new. I finally went back. I know we're all off topic right now. I finally went back and watched that New Mexico game where they melted down versus Montana State. Or was it Montana State they played in that first game?
Oh yeah.
Yo, that was an epic collapse. There's no way they should have lost that game, and they absolutely did. It was the most, but it actually means that they're not as bad. I mean, they don't know how to finish games yet, so they're still not a good team, but they definitely should have won that game. But golly, but anyway, yeah, I gotta watch the game for sure just to see what happens. But it's not that I'm very interested in it, but hey, football, let's do it. Next up on the docket here, we'll talk about Murray State visiting number 11 Missouri. Is anybody picking an upset here? The only reason this game is so far up, normally I would wait to put the ranked teams, but it's another night game. So on the SEC network, Murray State versus Missouri.
No upset here, but I do like Missouri to cover this one.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna.
Yeah, Luther Burden is gonna have himself a game.
Yeah, like he's gonna get his Heisman campaign kicked off. I expect Luther Burden to be in the thick of the Heisman race this year, at least by midseason. And that means racking up the yards and the stats against the Murray States of the world. So yeah, Brady and Luther go nuts in this one.
Yeah, hopefully this will be a semi-entertaining game for at least one quarter. Yeah, so I don't think anybody's picking the upset here. Next up, we have the good folks in Lexington, Kentucky, welcoming in the Southern Mississippi. What's Southern Mississippi Eagles? Is that what they are?
Golden Eagles.
Golden
Eagles. Yes.
The Golden Eagles from Southern Mississippi going up to the Bluegrass State to face the Kentucky Wildcats, who are a 28-point favorite. Is anybody picking an upset in this one? These first couple of weeks picking stuff is really boring until we get to the
tough because
portion of this.
Over in the ACC, they're playing conference games already. Like, week 0, Georgia Tech versus Florida State.
It's the same thing as playing as FCS schools. It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, obviously, I think Kentucky will win this one. I will say this. I don't think it's applicable to this game, but I'm not buying the Kentucky hype this year. And almost everybody that we know here at the War Report that does a list or power ranking, or if you're Josh Pate, it's a rating, is way high on Kentucky, and I don't understand it. But okay.
Oh, whoa! Don't throw me in that. I have Kentucky at number 11 on my power rankings.
Okay, all right. See, fair. I mean, I got Chris Phillips over at SEC Unfiltered has Kentucky and Florida ahead of Auburn right now, and I don't understand that. I don't get that. I don't understand. Love Chris, but I don't understand that one.
Everybody, I get it. They are loaded on defense at Kentucky, and they're going to have a good defensive team pretty much every season under Coach Stoops. But yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe they feel like Vandergriff is a better quarterback this season. I just don't know. I don't know much about their run game. There's just so many question marks about that offense this year. So we'll see.
I
don't even think Stoops wants to be there anymore anyways. And he tried
he turned down the offer to Texas A&M. So
I thought he accepted it. Then he got
he
turned
did.
Around on him.
He accepted it and then changed his mind. Is what at least that's the story that he gave at SEC Media Days, because he did confirm that they did offer him the job, and so apparently he was like, yeah, you know what, never mind now.
So it wasn't just A&M fans bullying their school out of not making a lateral move from Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Texas A&M got the better coach in that scenario, though.
Oh, yeah.
No disrespect to Stoops. I think Stoops is a good coach. I just actually think that Texas A&M got a better coach in that deal. Anyway, moving on. Eastern Kentucky is headed to play Mississippi State. Speaking of boring games, like this is probably the most boring game in the SEC this entire week. Like I don't. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean they're the bottom fourth of the conference. Mississippi State, firmly in the bottom fourth of the conference.
Maybe Jeff Lebby will bring some excitement back to that team.
I'm picking Mississippi State, but this is one you watch if there's nothing else on.
Yeah, which at 5 p.m. on ESPN, on SEC Network.
Yeah, there's going to be something else on.
There will be other games to watch.
Literally,
sure.
I might watch reruns of MacGyver over this game.
I think Jeff Lebby will have Mississippi State as a fun offense to watch eventually, not year one.
Yeah,
not happening year one.
This is a game I'm going to rewatch on Sunday. Like I will not catch this, or maybe like late Saturday after the Auburn game if there's nothing else going on. But I won't be watching this live. Next up, Old Dominion faces South Carolina. I lied. This one's probably equally as boring. I said Mississippi State was the most boring. This one's equally as boring for me. I don't have any.
We're going to be asleep this whole.
Yeah, this is
what time is
3:15 kick.
4:15 Eastern. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Old Dominion has had some times where they come out and
they have. Old Dominion has like actually made some interesting matchups for some Power 5 teams over the last couple of years. That's true, but
because I don't think South Carolina covers that spread.
Yeah,
I think ODU gives them a run for their money. I'm also just not high on South Carolina this year.
Yeah,
I'm not high on South Carolina any year. So,
yeah, there's some interesting things going on up there in South Carolina. I wonder what it's going to take for their guy, Shane Beamer, to be on the actual hot seat.
I don't know. What are the expectations of South Carolina fans? Is it literally just go to bowl games and be competitive versus Clemson?
Yeah, wake up and go to class. That's the expectations it feels like there. So, we'll see. Every once in a while, South Carolina has a year where it's like, oh, it's South Carolina. They haven't been exciting since Jadeveon Clowney, I feel like.
Has
there been a
year?
year?
I'm about to say, it's been since Spurrier, since this team was a team that you actually expected to do something.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
But Lenore Sellers, though, I think he's gonna be a fun quarterback to watch this year. He's just gonna be on Kentucky or not South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he'll be fun to watch his highlights because I will not be watching South Carolina.
Right. Yeah.
This season,
hopefully, he does something worthy of ESPN. Sports Center top 10.
They're not on our schedule, and it's South Carolina. I don't particularly want to watch their games, so I don't have any reason to go and just like, oh, let me go see what South Carolina's doing today. It literally would need to be the only thing on at that time.
All valid, Ike. All valid.
All right, next up, we got Oklahoma, number 16, Oklahoma playing against Temple.
Now, I will be watching this game.
Beatdown.
Yeah, I will be watching this game because I'm going to be watching Jackson Arnold.
I mean, you're only going to catch the first few minutes of this game.
Don't matter.
Our game starts. So.
It don't matter. I'm going to have the multi-view on in the press box, and I'm going to be watching Jackson Arnold here. I want to see what he's going to do. How clean, how polished that offense looks with him at the helm, and maybe get a preview of what Auburn's in for in Week 5. Right, like that game, Week 5 is a pivotal game for both of those teams, both the Auburn Tigers and the Oklahoma Sooners, and they've got to come to Jordan Hare, man. And listen, he brings his B game down to the Plains. They might leave with a beat down. So I'm watching that one.
I don't know how much I get out of watching them beat down Temple though. Like,
I'm just saying. But if it looks like a mess, you could get something out of that though. That's what I'm saying. I just want to see how polished they look.
This is another game I might rewatch later if people were like, "Man, Oklahoma looked like crap early." I'm like, "Oh, let me go see what's wrong with Oklahoma.
What's going on with them?" Yeah,
I ain't gonna watch it live. I don't care nothing about it live, bro.
Also, this game's on Friday.
I'll be sitting next to you. I'm putting it on. I'm turning my screen right at you.
Oh, it's a Friday game.
Yeah, it's Friday.
That was a Friday game. Oh yeah. I won't see you on
it's
Friday.
Yeah,
I'm coming to your house. I'm turning on the TV. Put my feet up on the couch.
Next game, Colorado State versus Texas.
Jesus.
32-point spread here. Colorado State made it interesting versus Colorado, which
They
lets
did.
you know that Colorado is really that bad last year.
They're that bad this year too.
Oh man.
And Texas is going to absolutely mop them, even without their starting running back.
Hey, do you imagine what they're?
I should have put that in. I didn't say this. The notes section that you see here that's blank. I'll try to start putting some interesting notes about the game, like players who are missing.
This underlines how boring these games are.
Yeah, I didn't put any notes for any of them because because I don't know enough about these teams to know what's interesting. I could have put in the notes section about Baxter being hurt and he's not going to be there, but like they knew that already. This isn't like breaking news. It's not like it happened yesterday, so whatever. But yeah, this should be an absolute shellacking of Colorado State. The Rams. That's what I got that one right? Colorado State.
Yeah, they're the Rams.
Yeah.
Next, and not interesting at all, is Western Kentucky going up against. Well, I won't say not interesting at all, but it has some intrigue, I guess, from a few storyline points. But Western Kentucky heading to the school across the state to play.
This quarterback took Alabama to overtime.
He did on one leg.
He battled Bryce Young.
Shout out to the Auburn defense in that game.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
All TJ had to do was just throw a good pass to Jackson McFadden. That's all he had to do.
There were a lot of all that someone had to do.
Yeah, he threw a dot
there was
in overtime in that 2-point conversion.
What's your boy's name? That was tight end. That went to Utah.
Yes, I know.
Oh, Landon King.
Landon King. Yeah, Landon King with the one-handed
grab. Yeah, that was
snag
crazy.
On that.
Yeah. I was like, dude, how did he see that? So hopefully, do that, TJ, 50 times.
Yeah, he's
Saturday.
He's going to need a repeat of his Texas State versus Baylor performance.
Or his Auburn versus Georgia State performance.
Guys, if Western Kentucky pulls off the upset here, I'm going to be the reincarnation of Lucifer on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm going to be all over the place.
There's not much that will prevent me from being the worst human being.
I've thrown away all my morals.
I'm going to go ahead and put Western Kentucky stuff in my Amazon cart, 1-day shipping. If it happens,
get your TJ Finley
full
jerseys.
selling. Full selling on that. I'm walking into school obnoxious the next day.
That being said, I'm picking Western Kentucky. Doing it, guys.
Just
Mark
for the petty.
Just for the hell of it. I'm picking Western Kentucky. And I predict TJ to throw for 180 effective yards in this game.
180 effective.
He's going to compete.
How many ineffective yards?
He's going to play. He's going to complete 5 passes for 5 TDs.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. 180 yards, 5 completions, 5 TDs.
I'm going to pick Alabama, but I'm going to take Western Kentucky to cover that. I don't trust that whatsoever.
I don't think Western Kentucky's got a shot in this one.
I'm going on the record because listen, Dylan, every year when we do this, make no mistake about it, your boy comes in last. And because I will go out on a limb and pick these games. I feel like this year's my year though. So yeah, Western Kentucky.
I always make the mistake. I always have a hate pick. There's always one team every week. I'm gonna pick against them because I hate them.
We're gonna clip this and we're gonna replay it in Western Kentucky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100% pulls off.
You're gonna be the hype video for the 2025 season.
Remember what I said on Firebomb that got all the haters, the Bama fans upset. This is not the same Alabama. Nick Saban is gone. We cannot just waltz around here pretending like that's not going to have some kind of negative effect on their program. This coach almost lost to Arizona State, man.
I'm happy to see them have a rapid, the level of decline would already be bad if they lose a couple of games. If they lose the first game to Western Kentucky, it will be chaos.
Can we give TJ Finley some credit? Isn't this like the 4th coach that's picked him to start?
3rd.
Ed Orgeron. I can't. Got Brian Harsin.
He started
whoever Texas State.
He didn't start the year at LSU.
Right. But he started there. Yeah.
He did end up
LSU.
starting after like game 4.
Yeah, 4 teams have had him as a starter. So,
Which Alabama, I went through their best case scenario, which everyone's best case scenario in the SEC is undefeated, except for like a few choice teams. But their worst case 8-4, and I could not imagine the riots that would ensue in Tuscaloosa if they were to lose 4 games.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That racist barbecue that they got there in Tuscaloosa, y'all saw that?
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that guy was like very intoxicated that day. And he caught him on the wrong day, man, and it's unfortunate. But hey, listen, a drunk mind tells the truth. So.
I have to put this comment up here. Finley and Bo Nix were freshmen in the same year. that is kind of wild. Like Bo's starting for an NFL team right now.
Yeah, TJ Finley is an 18th year senior, right?
Every once in a while, there's a guy like that that's just like, hey, he's still
start your LinkedIn page, man. Come on, put in some applications.
Yeah, it's all good, man. The Canadian
I love TJ though, man.
The Canadian Football League is appropriately there for you, my.
I know. I tweeted out like a few months ago. I said if you're going into your 5th or 6th year in college football, you should be transferring to a service academy.
Yeah.
All right, before we get over into the rest of the SEC, Mike G hit the people with a little something so they can find other ways to support the people who support the War Report.
Hey, man, you guys already know the deal. The show is brought to you in part by Manscaped. Fellas, do you want your grooming routine to be a one-and-done deal? Well, the days of using the same trimmer for your face and your balls are over thanks to our friends at Manscaped. They've come up with the ultimate package to keep your hairs trimmed from 12 to 6. Introducing the Beard and Balls Bundle featuring the Lawnmower 5.0 and the Beard Hedger, a trimmer for the moneymaker and another for the boys downstairs. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code REPORT at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code REPORT at manscaped.com. You guys have been doing a great job going to Manscaped and getting products from them. They've sponsored us all year round. It's very unusual. So, ladies, if you're watching, I see Haley on here, Haley Davies. You know what I mean? If you haven't gotten him that honeymoon gift yet, Manscaped's got you covered. And don't forget, we're sponsored by Joy Mode.
Next up here in the state of Tennessee, UT Chattanooga takes on number 15 Tennessee.
Yeah.
This is going to be a beatdown. Tennessee can pretty much pick a score on this one. I don't know. No prayer here. Anybody got a pick and upset that one?
No. Tennessee is one of those interesting teams as well, too. So, like, they play Oklahoma the week before Auburn plays them. And, that's their welcome to the SEC. It'll be a home game. They got to go to Norman. But a lot of people are high on Tennessee. I'm not as high on Tennessee as most people, but, we'll see how that lands out. They cover in this one, likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, Ole Miss taking on Furman. The beginning of the Ole Miss really tough road to 10 wins this season because they play absolutely nobody this entire year. But they play Furman in the first game. So I was on the SEC teleconference today listening in, and man, Lane Kiffin does not want to be in Oxford, bro. Like, his demeanor was like basically like in the most boring Lane Kiffin way, begging fans to please show up and support his team. I think we're gonna have a pretty good team. Hopefully the fans, show up, for him now. Like, it's so ridiculous. Like, I really want Ole Miss fans to do better in support of that because they have actually a good team this year, man.
Yeah, I wonder how much he seems different since his father passed. Personally, I watched him in the media. He seems a little different since his father passed, and so I wonder if that's got something to do with his enthusiasm kind of waning for this season. So, look, man, I'm high on Ole Miss this year. I think they're clearly a playoff contender. If you're Lane Kiffin, you can't really ask for more than that. Again, our guy Chris Phillips over at SEC Unfiltered in his power rankings had Ole Miss number 2 in the conference, and he's not alone in that opinion of them. So, yeah, they beat Furman by a lot. Jackson Dart is one of the best. He's one of the best QBs in the country, and Lane Kiffin is still one of the best play callers in the country. So, yeah, I like them in this one big.
Yeah, I mean,
they'll drop 60 on them.
Furman doesn't have a prayer, so
sorry. They might hit 70 in this game.
And and we took their best basketball player, so I mean, Furman is it's down bad right now.
Oh, Pegues came from Furman, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
They did.
All right, Vanderbilt versus Virginia Tech.
What? Vandy?
Yeah.
And are they the first SEC underdog?
Yes, they are the first underdog.
They might be the only one.
They are the only. No, they're not the only underdog. Because I'm pretty sure Miami is.
They are. Yeah,
is favored over Florida. And I think that's the only dog in this one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that being said,
11 a.m. on ESPN.
No, so this will be the first one we see. Yeah, I'll go with Virginia Tech, man. No faith in Vandy. Is their stadium still under construction?
It is still under construction.
They had you went up there last year.
One half of it is still under construction. So
okay.
The end zone for those of you who were at Vanderbilt's game or have seen the stadium, there is a side that's kind of like open that had like a crane holding up a scoreboard. That end is still under construction, so there will still be a crane holding up a scoreboard apparently. But the other end zone, where there's like this structure that they put up for more seating and such, is completed, as I understand it.
All right, there we go.
You would expect the great minds of Vanderbilt to have planned that.
Well, this was always the plan. Apparently, this was going to be a very long construction thing, and it was not supposed to be done until 2025. So. I think the better plan would have been for them to play games somewhere else besides at this construction zone. But, hey, it is what it is. Because it's not like it's Auburn, right, where this is the only big stadium that's in the area. You have other large stadiums that are close enough that they could have played games elsewhere, but they chose to do this. So they've got the worst basketball arena ever constructed, and then they put a construction zone around their football stadium. So, Vanderbilt deserves to lose by 30.
So I'm very high on Virginia Tech this year. I think I have them in my ACC championship, so I'll take Tech to cover.
Yeah, so we'll see. And also, again, speaking of the teleconference today, they have refused to announce or delayed the announcement, I should say, of who the starting quarterback is supposed to be this season for Vanderbilt. Everybody just assumed it was going to be Pavia. I still think it's going to be Pavia, but he's just like, we're going to wait and announce it on game day. That was what he said today on the teleconference. They are not announcing their starting quarterback.
Well, they have that kid, Nate. I think his name is Nate Johnson.
Nate Johnson, who came from, was it Utah where he was previously?
Yeah,
I believe so, yeah.
And Nate Johnson was actually there during the spring as opposed to Diego Pavia, who didn't get there until the summer. But Pavia is running the same offense that he was running at New Mexico State. So you would assume that he didn't have as much he just needed to get the camaraderie with the players, not learn the playbook. So I don't know. I have no idea why in the world Clark Lee is being so mysterious about his quarterback situation. But that's a thing that he's attempting to do right now is, we're going to wait and we're going to announce. I'm like, man, just tell people who
just tell us what you're doing. Yeah.
But and then the two, apparently he's already had the conversation with the court. Well, I mean, of course, because they're game planning week of. So like, they know who's starting in the building. He's just not announcing it to anybody else. I don't understand the purpose of that. Maybe they're having some sort of like mystery reveal on game day and they don't want to spoil it, but it feels a little bit too dramatic there for a team that nobody cares about. Like what are we doing right now, Vandy? Florida, speaking of teams nobody cares about, is playing Miami.
Yeah.
The only reason we don't care about Florida is because apparently the people who make schedules don't care about Florida. And the worst schedule ever.
No, they care. They care about all the sins committed in Gainesville for the last 30 years because they are paying for it this year.
Yo, they basically was like,
I had a friend
who can we just throw
game.
Florida on their schedule in addition to just give them another Power 5 school, another Power 4 school. Yeah.
I had a friend text me about this game. Now, Miami picked up Cam Ward from Washington State.
Correct.
But Graham Mertz is quietly one of the better quarterbacks in this conference.
He had the best completion percentage of any quarterback last
25
season.
TDs to 2 interceptions last year.
His interception.
He also didn't throw the ball down the field that much.
But still,
they played it safe with him.
Did they? Hold on. I got to fact check you.
No, this is a fact. This is something that
like DJ Uiagalelei against Georgia Tech level.
when I talked to my guy Kenny B, so we had our conversation in Florida, and he was saying that was a big thing. Is just they didn't open up the offense very much last year, and now they've got DJ Lagway there as the backup quarterback. We are likely in for another season of the 2 quarterback shuffle there under Sunbelt Billy. The same thing that they did that first year. What's your guy's name that went to the league a couple of years ago for Florida?
Anthony Richardson?
Yeah, Anthony Richardson.
Richardson.
It's going to be a situation where I think Lagway is going to play like a Richardson role. He's going to come in occasionally for the team. I see a 2 quarterback shuffle on its way to the Swamp this year.
You know what's crazy is he did not have a ton of attempts last year at all. So
they were very run heavy.
They had Montreal Johnson.
Yeah. I'm a little shocked at this.
And right? they do not have ETN this year.
They do not.
He had 362 attempts, which is okay.
That's average. That's what I'm saying. Like last year, they were very vanilla on offense. They weren't trying to push the ball down the field. They had a good run game, and they were leaning on it.
Yeah, 122 attempts from 9 yards or in, 109 attempts behind the line of scrimmage, and a total of 118 attempts, 10 yards or more down the field.
Got some people in the chat who feel that Florida's going to win this game.
I'm picking Florida. In Graham Mertz, I trust. Listen, anything ACC, no thank you. All right, so I'm going Florida in this one.
Yeah,
I like Florida.
I'm taking Miami in this one.
They got Cam Ward. I'm not sure. Like I saw some things. I got kind of an insider there down at Miami, and what I'm hearing about Cam Ward. I mean, he's a good quarterback. He's a talented quarterback, but I'm not sure it's come together quite yet for them. And for this to be their week 1 matchup,
it might not surprising because I mean it's Miami.
So. Well, they also have Damian Martinez from Oregon State too that they're going to rely on a lot.
Yes, and he was one of the best running backs in the country last year. Now he also had the Oregon State offensive line blocking for him in a conference that does not know how to play defense.
Yeah,
but.
If it's a coin flip, I'm going SEC. I'm never going to betray.
I'm not mad at it. This is a game that I actually don't know how to pick because I don't know what Miami actually is. All right,
I'm going to go with the coach who's not going to be on the hot seat by the 4th game.
I mean, but let's pause for a minute. Who is that coach?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The
same guy who blew a game last year because he didn't know how to call a timeout properly.
Yeah, that's
call a victory formation.
Yeah,
that's very true. Look, Billy Napier. I don't know. I'm on the fence about him. We already know they're going to have if he wins 7 games, he should get an extension with this schedule.
Yeah, if he gets to 7, if somehow miraculously Florida wins 7 games on this schedule. Then yes, Billy Napier has earned his paycheck plus some.
Yeah.
This is a murderer's row.
They're recruiting for 2025. Ike is outside the top 25, and so
they tanked at the end of last year in recruiting, and then they just picked up right where they left off and continued down that spiral. So
tough luck down there in Gainesville.
So he needs this. He needs this bad for a lot of reasons.
Yeah,
and I don't know if he's going to get it.
Desperation creates heroes sometimes, baby.
Yeah, it's too bad he can't suit up and play quarterback for him because and not that I'm saying, but I'm just saying he could be desperate, but is his team going to play with that same desperation? He seems to think that this schedule has motivated his team to prove people wrong. So we will see what happens with one Billy Napier. As someone said in the comments, I missed the comment who said that Sunbelt Billy will soon be Sunset Billy. And I thought that was a fabulous. There we go. James Sawyer. Mm-hmm. Sunbelt Billy will be Sunset Billy by game 6. So I'm not mad at this. That's a great little twist of a phrase there. Next up, Texas A&M takes on Notre Dame. This probably to me is the most intriguing game. Probably not going to be the best game, but the most intriguing game of the weekend, because you have the former head coach taking on his former quarterback, right? So, and this is something he talked about on the presser today, is that he actually feels as if there's a slight edge for the quarterback in this scenario, because he's played and seen this defense in and out for multiple years when he was at Duke, right? Riley Leonard's seen everything that he wants to do. And he's like, I don't know if we affect the quarterback as much as the quarterback kind of understands us. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. Notre Dame versus Texas A&M. Right there in Kyle Field. This is a 6:30 kick on ABC on Saturday night. What are you guys feeling about this game?
I'm so torn. I'm very torn on this one. Now, I know what I just said about if it's a coin flip, I'm picking the conference. But Texas A&M is weird.
Yeah,
their people are weird traditions, and I am quietly salty about how high people seem to be on them right now. Now, I don't know if that is leftover enthusiasm from that world record-breaking recruiting class they had when NIL
half of them
opened
dudes
up.
are gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, and I know there are a lot of people who are high on Connor Wegman, and
I think Wegman's a good quarterback.
Prospects under Mike Elko.
Now that I don't know anything about. Elko's a defensive coach.
I
don't know how you get excited about a quarterback.
I don't know. I'm telling you, I keep hearing it. Every segment I do, they're like, "Yeah, I think Mike Elko's going to have a great plan for that." I'm like, "All right." So, look,
maybe because of what he did with Riley Leonard, but again, that wasn't him doing that.
Yeah, so, Notre Dame, they got a brand new quarterback up there too.
That's what I'm saying. Riley Leonard is the quarterback at Notre Dame, the guy who used to play for Mike Elko at Duke. So,
this is a home game for Texas A&M?
It is. That's the only reason I'm picking Texas A&M, because it's a home game. It's the only reason.
I hate doing this. But yeah, I'm gonna go with A&M.
Yeah. Literally, if this were a neutral site game or a road game,
I might change my mind by the end of this.
But I'm picking Texas A&M because it's
this is tough.
I'm gonna go with the Fighting Irish.
I'm not mad at it.
Dylan, I'm riding with you. I changed my mind. I'm going with Notre Dame.
Not mad at anybody picking Notre Dame.
It's just Marcus Freeman's been there longer. I think Riley Leonard's I don't want to say he's a better quarterback than Connor Wegman, because I'm high on Connor Wegman. But I think just having seniority
Connor Wegman's
as a
the better
coach.
Quarterback of the two. I'm sorry. I like Riley Leonard, but like the hype that, and I can say that, like, I have to reserve like not trashing people's thoughts and expectations of people when they want them to transfer to Auburn. When everybody was like, "Oh, we're gonna get Riley Leonard," I was like, "Yeah, I'm not really excited."
I never really bit under the hype either, because I was like, "What did he really do at Duke that was so special outside of?" I guess it was the winning games part, but also
he won games, like but his stats lines weren't impressive, and he got hurt. Right. Like, and so I'm just like, okay, he can't stay available and he didn't really have great stats. Like, why are people so excited about this kid? Like, I don't. Yeah. And again, it's not that I don't think that he's good. I just don't think he's great. And you already have good in Peyton Thorne. So why are we exchanging good for good? Like, that didn't make a whole bunch of sense to me. I was just like, all right, man, like, I get it. Y'all excited about somebody else, but.
And maybe Notre Dame plays a little angry because they're going to be losing Deuce Knight soon.
Yeah, listen, they're real salty about that. Like, those Notre Dame boards are going crazy about this, and now it's turned from like anger and resentment to like silent acceptance. Every time he comes,
those are the stages of the cope. Yeah.
One there was a post about Duke's Knight, guys, and the reporter called him Notre Dame commit, and he's like, "Why are they still calling him that? He's definitely leaving." So I'm
don't say that's our boyfriend. I don't like him anymore.
We don't go together anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely riding with Notre Dame on this one. And since we took their quarterback, since we're going to take their quarterback, I'm throwing this bone back to them. Beat A&M. I don't give a damn what happens to A&M. Conference loyalty be damned. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm picking Texas A&M in this one because it's a home game. Again, this game being played anywhere else, like they could have played this game.
Notre Dame hat off the wall.
They could have played this game at Jerry World, and I probably like anywhere except for Kyle Field. I probably would pick Notre Dame, but
yeah, all right.
Well, anywhere outside of the state of Texas, I take that back. I don't know if they would win a game in the state of Texas. But yeah, all right. Next up, this is a big one: Georgia versus Clemson.
Woo!
This game is at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
The week.
How are we feeling about
home game for Georgia?
Not as much of a home game as it was against Oregon a couple of years ago. That Clemson's not that much farther. True. This game's tough. I hate both of them so much.
Yeah, I have a vested interest in seeing the downfall of Dabo Swinney, so I'm going to pick Georgia in this one, even though I absolutely despise Georgia. I just think Dabo Swinney's the biggest cornball in the world.
He is.
I can't support anything.
I can't forgive him for his NIL stance. I just can't do it.
His stances on the NIL and the transfer portal are the corniest things that I've heard come out of a coach's mouth.
He has picked up one transfer, though. He did pick up one. His name was Hunter Johnson. He was a former Clemson quarterback, transferred to Northwestern, and then transferred back to Clemson. His one transfer.
Yeah, I don't wish anything good on Dabo Swinney's career just because he's corny.
Georgia, to me, again, last year they were the best team in the conference. They didn't make the playoff, but they were the best team in the country last year. They just happened to lose a game at the wrong time. That's it. It just happened to be the SEC championship game, and it just happened to be the one person who knew how to deal them L's, which was Nick Saban. Now he's gone. Nobody's standing in their way. I believe they would have run roughshod through last year's playoffs if they had got in. I don't think there's any moment that's truly too big for Kirby Smart and his team. I think he's proven that he can coach. They've gotten into these big games and they've handled business, man. Like, they don't have lapses. Like, if you thought they were going to go into that game versus Florida State and leave Florida, no, man, they went straight for the kill. Straight for the throat. And I know Florida State had people sitting out or whatever, but like, even in the big games that they've lost, they've been bangers, man. Like, they've been epic classic matchups. So without Nick Saban, there's nobody that I like to beat Georgia offhand. I do believe they'll lose a game this year at some point this season because their schedule is the hardest that it's been in a really, really long time, evidenced by this opening day matchup versus, a team that a lot of people like to win the ACC or contend to win the ACC. I asked Kirby Smart at media days about that schedule being the hardest they've seen in a while. And the first thing he said, he was like, Mike, don't forget Clemson. We opened up with Clemson. So he's already campaigning about how hard their schedule is. Now that there's a 12-team playoff, he doesn't have to worry about being left out. Georgia's in this thing, dude. They're going to have to lose 4 games to not be in this thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like we talk about a quarterback position where it's like it's theirs to lose. Georgia is in the playoff. They have to play their way out of it. Like that's really the only thing that's going to happen. But that's evidenced by they're the number 1 ranked team going into the season. Like that Carson Beck is a Heisman finalist right now. He's going to have to figure out a way to screw that up, right? Like, yeah, everybody in the country is expecting Georgia to sleepwalk through their schedule this year.
I gotta go Clemson. I gotta go Georgia in this game.
I was like, what? Really? I was gonna be shocked.
I was like, wait, what?
Georgia's gonna take care of business.
They're gonna cover. They're gonna cover.
They might double the cover. I think they're gonna absolutely. So they're gonna help Dabo put on the clown makeup.
They're gonna put 40 something on them, and they're gonna win by 20 plus points.
I gave my hater reasoning for this, but like, I don't think Cade Klubnik is all that great. I think he's decent, but nothing special. I don't think that Clemson defense is nearly as good as it's been recently. They've been on a steady decline over the last few years, and I just don't think that they have enough special to beat a bunch of special over there in Athens, bro. Like, so, and it's in the state of Georgia, like it's down the street from the house. Nah, fam, y'all finna get absolutely turtle waxed, bro. Like,
I also want to see Oscar Delp kind of have a good game because I've gotten a lot of crap from some fans about my take because I think Oscar Delp's gonna do what Brock Bowers did Like he's going to be Brock Bowers 2.0 because Oscar Delp is more athletic than Brock was. And people seem to think that Oscar Delp isn't as good as that, but they've clearly not watched enough film on that kid because he is off the charts.
That's high praise because I think that Brock Bowers is kind of a unicorn. Like he's just different as far as like, and it's athleticism versus like just kind of like dog. I don't know if Delp's got the same kind of dog in him that Brock Bowers has.
Oh,
he definitely is super
but
athletic.
athleticism, he's got it.
Yeah, like, no, I agree with you. He's a super athletic kid. Stretches the field well for that team. But like Brock Bowers just does everything. So, but anyway, I think that that Clemson is in for a rough a rough afternoon there. So.
Is that a dog pun?
It wasn't intentionally, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Last game before we get into the one that really matters, it is happening. This actually is a Sunday game. I think I have Saturday. I think I'll have the game details correct on this one, but this is going to be at Allegiant Stadium there in Las Vegas. LSU versus USC. It's a tough game to call. 4-point spread here. But ultimately, this is going to be a name your score game for me because I don't believe either of these teams. Like, I know people think LSU is going to have a better defense this year. I need to see it, fam. You got to show me you got a better defense. And this is going to be a shootout, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is the highest over-under out of any game this week at 64.5. And I might take the over on that one. I don't trust both these teams have no defense whatsoever. It's a Pac-12 after dark game on a Sunday.
Yeah. This game is nuts. But yeah, I expect a lot of points being scored in this one. I feel like I want to take LSU in this one because I believe even less in USC having a defense than I do in LSU having a defense. I think LSU has enough athletes on defense to make it happen. Listen, man, Lincoln Riley, God bless him. I don't know the man knows how to spell defense. Like, I don't know if he has a fence around his house. I don't know if, just there's nothing Lincoln Riley has ever done in his coaching tenure that makes me believe that he can field a team that stops other teams from scoring points.
Well,
the Cal team that barely lost to Auburn was running roughshod over USC in that game and barely won that game at the end of the year. Nah, fam. I know last year, this year different, but like he never has a defense.
Well, didn't Lincoln Riley? Brian Kelly did this, I know for a fact, but didn't Lincoln Riley fire his entire defensive staff and try to bring in a whole new one this year? I think both these teams are going in with completely new defenses than they did last year. But I mean, if I had to pick a team, I'm going to go LSU strictly because I'm going to give them the edge at the quarterback position with Garrett Nussmeier over Miller Moss. I think you're going to see another thing.
Like, I have literally no idea what to think about Miller Moss, right? Like, is he? I mean, he played well in their bowl game, but I just don't know, man. Like, I just don't think either of these teams are going to play any defense, and I trust Lincoln Riley even less when it comes to defense. So I'm going to take LSU.
It's going to be a Kyron Lacey versus Zachariah Branch game. Just who can get the most receiving yards?
I mean, this is a Sunday game, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I said.
This is a Sunday game. Like they have not released a depth chart yet for this game.
Who is they?
Southern Cal has it. They don't have a depth chart out yet officially. But the receiver thing is interesting there. Now they run a ton of 10 personnel.
Yeah,
they do. And Lincoln Riley's going to sling the ball around. But this is their inaugural, this is their Big Ten season, and they open with an SEC team. How bad is LSU's defense still? Right? And I don't know, man, guys. I'm gonna pick Southern Cal. Now, you guys know I have a special dislike for Brian Kelly.
That's a fact.
I've been open about this. But I don't think Nussmeier is as good as some LSU fans hope that he is. I
I think Nuss is pretty good. He's just not. I think that people think that there's not going to be a
drop off. Yeah.
This year, and that's just not a thing.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels was saving that offense last year. Like he was creating. He made stars out of Neighbors and I think Robertson, the other guy. Like I hate this, but I just without knowing what they're going to be on defense and knowing that Lincoln Riley has got something cooking there on offense. He's got young receivers, but like his system makes stars out of quarterbacks and receivers.
Oh, they're gonna score points.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're gonna stop it. I don't think they're gonna stop LSU.
Yeah, I mean these are two historically bad Power 5 defenses, right? Like, yeah.
Last year, again, people seem to think somehow that they fixed this by going and getting a different defensive coordinator this offseason, but I don't believe it.
I'm going with Southern Cal.
Show me something, but I actually believe in Lincoln Riley.
I'm going to go with Southern Cal, guys. Look, Los Angeles is like 5 hours from Vegas.
Right. It is a quasi home game.
Yeah, it's and I've made that trip many times in a car. And LSU's got to go out west, and I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure about this one. I got Jay Ferris up there at USC. I want to see him have a great game here.
I think he's going to have a tremendous game because LSU doesn't have a defense.
Yeah,
and again, Lincoln Riley's offense is going to be amazing. So it's
1,500 yards.
I did see Ike where they were projecting him and Zachariah Branch at the same position, and they had Jay backing up Zachariah, but Zachariah is more of kind of like a gadget guy. And Lincoln Riley's going to rotate a ton of people. So I don't know, man. His again, I have faith in what Lincoln Riley's going to field on the offensive side.
I do too.
So,
is USC's O line ready for Harold Perkins?
No,
probably not.
Because
nobody's
what
ready.
LSU lacks in a good defensive unit, LSU makes up for that with the amount of talent they have in that.
Yeah,
I mean it's hard to go from 120th in the country to top.
Now here's the thing,
50.
Dylan. Every year we do this. And big games come, and I will pick LSU, and they will do the exact opposite of what they're.
That's a fact. LSU has let you down many times.
So many times, right? And I'm learning my lesson here, and I'm going with.
But USC hasn't. I remember what was it?
I don't pick USC. I don't pick USC because they're not in
2017, 28, 2016. When was it? When USC walked out on the field against Alabama in week 1, and everyone thought it was going to be a close game, and then
they got blown out.
Yeah. Look, man.
Stomped on.
I've seen exactly one USC
that's
game.
Not going to be that's not going to be the case in this game. Lincoln Riley's going to have a team that's going to put up points, and I don't think that LSU is going to have a very good defense. So it's not going to be a curb stomping. I just don't think. I believe this is how little I believe in Lincoln Riley's ability.
Yeah, who messes up the least? Yeah. I'm going with USC. I've seen USC play exactly one time in person. And in that game, they walked into the Plains and goose-egged Auburn 23-0. And so, like, there's a curse there, and I got to break it. So I'm picking USC, and I'm shunning LSU.
I ain't mad at it.
I'll take LSU to cover.
All right, we are going to get into the game that matters this weekend, and that is the Auburn game here. But we're going to go to a quick break. To our folks over on Facebook, we're going to tell you goodbye, and you can come join us over on YouTube because soon here we're going to be giving away some tickets, and you got to be present on YouTube to win that.
Right.
So thank y'all so much. But this is the Midweek Rapport. We'll be right back after a quick break.
This edition of the War Report is brought to you by our generous sponsors. The Opelika Rage Room in Opelika, Alabama. The Rage Room is a place where anger and stress find their ultimate release. Call or text 334-777-6688 to set up a session today, or check them out online at opelika-rageroom.com. Golden's Cast Iron. Whether you work out, grill out, or chill out, you deserve the best life possible, and Golden's Cast Iron is here to provide the tools to help you do it. Check them out at goldenscastiron.com.
All right, guys, it's your last chance here. Go to the comment section, drop that comment. right? War Damn tickets in the community. We're going to be drawing and giving away 2 tickets to the Cal game. You guys know we love to do this every year, give back to our community. So check us out there. Guys, while you're at it, check us out on podcast. We need you guys to go to your favorite podcast platform, subscribe to the War Report, and set that thing for automatic downloads. That helps us out quite a bit. There's 233 people here. If you're not already doing it, whether it's Spotify or iTunes or whatever or Amazon, right? You can do that. Please go do that for us. We appreciate everyone who does that for sure. This show is also brought to you in part by Joy Mode. Visit tryjoymode.com and use code report for 20% off plus free shipping. Joy Mode is helping you out with a great many things. Auburn's going to win on Saturday. And after they win, you're going to want to celebrate with your lady. Right? You can make that a memorable time for her by visiting tryjoymode.com and using code report. Guys, you don't want to be, we've said this again, Dylan, I don't know if you haven't been there, but look, man, you don't want to be QB2 in the bedroom. You want to be QB1, right? You want the start. You don't want to be the backup. And Joy Mode is helping you do that. It comes in a palm-sized packet like your favorite electrolyte powder. You can stir it in 6 to 8 ounces of water 45 minutes before the boom boom and watch the magic literally unfold. Not only is this the only supplement you'll need in the bedroom, but it also supports your blood vessels, cardiovascular health, and athletic performance, blood pressure, and more. So visit tryjoymode.com and use code report. Guys, last but certainly not least, this show is brought to you by the Autograph app. This is the one thing that we ask you guys to do that is absolutely free. If you love Auburn content, if you like Auburn articles, if you like recruiting, if you like to buy tickets to games, we're giving away tickets. But if you don't win, you can buy tickets through the Autograph app, guys. Every article read, every podcast listened to through the app earns you coins. You can use those coins for rewards. And some of those rewards are discounts on tickets, and if you earn enough coins, free tickets. So visit your phone's app store and download the Autograph app today. During the sign-up process, it's going to ask you for a referral code. As always, the code is rapport. Please put it in to let them know that the War Report sent you. By using our code, it will automatically populate your app with all the things you need to have your Auburn starter pack. But you can also follow the other teams. If you got a pro team, if you're a Patriots fan or a Falcons fan, you can select that during the sign-up process, and it will push notifications out to you when things happen with your team or significant articles drop on your team. So visit your phone's app store, download the Autograph app for free today, and use referral code REPORT so they know the War Report sent you.
Yes, indeed. All right, we're going to get over into some comments here, and then we're going to talk about the Auburn game today. Let's see here. Started off with our super chat here from our guy, Oda Smith, who says, all I'm saying is that we better not run the ball more than 12 to 15 times. Air it out all dang night. Throw it to every wide receiver and running back. Just throw it. I don't know if I'm with this strategy, but I feel you. Like, I ain't mad at it.
I'm dead. I am actually dead.
Another one from Oda here who says, well, War Damn Eagle fam. It's been a while. He's back in here with us. We appreciate you being in here, Oda, man. Another one from Oda who says, we really need to make the coach at OU eat his words for what he said about turning down the Auburn job in front of 90,000. I feel a 2017 beatdown that we put on UG Gay we will put on Oklahoma.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. We had to read that, but
yep, that's the thing. Cleveland Brown says the Mosquitoes put up more of a fight than Vandy last year. Wow.
Yeah. Accurate.
Yeah. Also, thank you for a couple of gifted memberships there from Cleveland. Notre Dame is that one chick, says Cleveland, that that says that Deuce is their man. That's not their man. That's funny.
Wow.
Super sticker accompanied by a comment here from Thomas Jones, who says, what do you guys think about Dabo banning callers and not taking questions from his call-in show because of criticism of his coaching style and his stance on NIL?
That's weak, man. That's weak. You make
so here's my thing.
Money.
How is it a call-in show if you don't have people calling
in? Yeah. No, I mean, obviously,
this further amplifies how much of a cornball Dabo.
Yeah, he's way too corny.
He's a dork.
Like, just what are you actually doing with your entire life, man? Like,
Yep.
Just go be a missionary or something.
He's a weirdo.
I get you love Jesus, and I'm not mad at that at all. You know what I'm saying? I think that's beautiful. Just go be a youth pastor. Like, just that.
He's letting
actually children's church pastor fits him better.
Children's church. Children's church. Okay.
I don't want him talking to me. Talk to the kids or something, bro. You can be corny with them and they'll enjoy it. It's like Barney walking the sidelines, man. He's a freaking imbecile. All right. Another one here from Otis Smith, who says Auburn 63, Alabama A&M 6 with over 400 yards in the air.
400?
I'll let you guys. He said he wants us to air it out all day. So yeah, 400.
I want you guys to know that I personally asked Peyton for $5.99, right? Because our patron memberships are $5.99. So I said I need 599 yards from you on Saturday.
Yeah, that's not happening, fam.
He said he's going to try to deliver. Yeah. So when it happens, just remember.
What's Auburn's record for passing yards in a game?
Yeah,
I think Nick Marshall holds it, and it's like 400 something yards versus Alabama.
Yeah,
I think it's like 451.
I'm trying. That was at the 55-44 game.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Nick Marshall holds the record for most passing yards in the game by an Auburn quarterback.
I don't want Peyton Thorne in the game long enough to throw for 599.
Exactly.
Or he could do it in a half. He's got Cam Coleman out there, Dylan.
Bro, what? This is not the air raid.
My glasses are right here. I'm not going to wear them for the
Look, I told y'all about TJ's stat line. He's going to complete 6 passes for 599 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Otis said Robbie Ashford had 440 on LSU. I don't know.
That's right.
He had 337 yards, but yes.
I thought to say I don't know about
almost
440.
Yeah, 337.
If you round up enough.
Yeah, he was 19 for 38. Yeah.
If you round up a whole 100. All right. Let's get over into this matchup versus the Alabama A&M Bulldogs this year. Auburn's taking on A&M in Jordan-Hare Stadium, 6:30 p.m. on ESPN+. Auburn is favored in this game by 47.5 points. The over-under is 56.5. 99% chance, says the ESPN FPI, that Auburn wins this game. Only 2 times have these two teams faced one another in the history, and both of them have been 50-point beatdowns by Auburn. Last time was in 2016 when Auburn won 55-0. What are we feeling about this game versus A&M this season, guys? How are we feeling?
No G5 losses. I think that what you want to see
this isn't
in this
even
game,
G5. And this
it's like G8 or something, right? Like, I think I think what you're going to see here is you're going to see Hugh Freeze. Well, he wants to run his base stuff now. Remember what he said in the press conference on Monday. Mm-hmm. He said they want to run a lot of base stuff, and they whittled this offense down to the things that they feel like they can do effectively. And he's going to want to see how well they execute that. But they're also going to be testing that offensive line on Saturday. So between Percy Lewis and Dylan Wade and Tate Johnson and that whole shuffle that they're doing there to try to figure out who's going to play left tackle and do what, you want to take steps towards solidifying that offensive line, because once you get into league play, it's too late, right? You can't lose to Arkansas, and Oklahoma's going to try to come here and give you everything they got. Then you don't play a home game for a month. So figuring out who's going to be protecting Peyton Thorne's blind side, I think, starts Saturday. And Hugh Freeze also said, at some point, the tape has to become your resume. Yeah. So he's looking for somebody to put something on tape that makes him feel confident that, you're right-handed quarterback, so the left tackle protects your blind side. And Peyton he doesn't want to run like he did last year. He said it a million times. 130 rush attempts, guys. He doesn't want to do that, and he certainly doesn't want to do that against Alabama A&M.
Right.
Now, remember when Auburn played Samford last year, and, it was one of his better statistical games, but it was still kind of a sloppy game.
Yeah, the first half of that game was very sloppy.
He threw 2 picks, and I think I have been on record as saying that I think Peyton Thorne is going to be markedly better this year. I think he's going to play well. I think he will finish the season as Auburn starter. And that starts with dominating games like this and getting out of the game by early in the third quarter.
Yeah.
The worst thing that can happen is that he's still in the game trying to figure it out. But the offensive line is going to have something to do with that, with the flow of the game. And just because you're bad in pass pro doesn't mean that they won't be able to run block. So I'll be interested to see if one is better than the other here. But they're going to lean on the run, and they're going to take shots down the field. That's what I expect to see on Saturday. He's going to throw it up to Cam Coleman and Keandre Lambert-Smith, and when Perry Thompson and Malcolm get in, it's going to be the same thing. Now, you got 3 freshmen at the 2 deep at wide receiver already, Cam, Perry, Malcolm. So they're going to try to feature these guys. You want to see if Keandre Lambert-Smith is whatever that little nagging ankle injury he has, if he's over that. And you want Jarquez Hunter to get off to a hot start. He missed game 1 last year, and it hurt them going into that Cal game because he looked rusty and slow.
Yeah, he did. He did not look good against Cal last year.
And he still finished the year with almost 1,000 yards rushing.
Right.
But they're going to want to get Jarquez the ball. You're going to want to work Damari and Cobb into the game plan as well, too. They feel good about all 3 of those guys catching the ball. So this game is going to be about efficiency on offense to me. And can they execute their base stuff and get off the field? Now, you're going to give A&M – I got Charlie 5 made this point on our weekly presser recap pod. But, he feels defensively, they may give up a few points near the end of the game. But I think Auburn projects to be much better defensively than some people are expecting. I think the D-line is going to be better than people are expecting, and we might see a couple of freshmen emerge here.
Yeah, I've been high on the defensive line, and I've been talking about how I think people are sleeping on how deep this defensive line rotation is going to be this season.
So with Austin Keys kind of dealing with like an MCL sprain or something like that, right? I thought I remember from the depth chart, Ike, that they had DeMarcus Riddick listed as an or there.
Let's take a look and
now,
see.
I told everybody about DeMarcus Riddick, and I said it in the spring. I feel like people forgot about this kid with all the hype about the receivers coming in. But he is a smart player. He's physically gifted. He plays downhill. He's fast, and he can hit. He's got a nose for the football. So you might see some young guys emerge here on defense that are going to be impact players later in the season and into the future for Hugh Freeze. But this is where recruiting pays dividends. It does, right? Is that you recruited so well, you've got guys who are going to come in and they're going to get their baptism by fire and these like non-Power 5 non-cons early in the season. Get some game experience, get them some confidence headed into SEC play, man, and then you're just creating depth. Keys comes back, he looks good, and then you're going to have a healthy rotation. Now, if you remember from the press conference, we were joking about them having 37 starters on defense.
Mm-hmm.
But they're gonna rotate a lot of guys. That's DJ Durkin wants to hit you. He wants to blitzkrieg you every single time. So he wants to keep his guys fresh, and in the fourth quarter, they want to wear you out. In the fourth quarter, when you're tired, Auburn's defense is not going to be. And they wanted to build something where there's no drop-off from 1 to 2 on the defensive side of the ball. Guys, they were so underrated last year defensively. They were very underrated. They held 6 opponents to 14 points or less last year. Build on that. They played well enough to win some of the games that Auburn lost. So, if they can improve from last year and get experience for the young guys, I think that is the goal in this game. But a lot of the eyes are going to be on Peyton Thorne, and because I think that Auburn's season offensively will go as he goes. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to be so good in the run game that they can just line it up and smash it down people's throats without, it costing the run game. You're going to have to be able to be a threat through the air to make defenses respect you, and you're going to have to be able to push the ball down the field. So the only thing that concerned me about Thorne this offseason was when we saw that first fall scrimmage, he threw 2 balls to Cam Coleman. Cam caught them both, but they were both out of bounds. Keep that ball in and give Cam a chance, and he's going to go up and get it for you. And then Perry caught a beautiful 60-yard bomb from Hank Brown. You got guys who can go get it. These were contested catches. So I think game one is going to inject a lot of excitement into the fan base. And if it doesn't, it's, whew, man, I'm telling you, a lot of that enthusiasm can turn to worry in week one when you don't dominate an opponent you should beat.
Yeah,
by a lot. So, I'm not counting on the latter, right? Nothing's going to kill my bug until week 4.
Dylan, what are your thoughts on the game, man? What do you want to see?
I'm excited to see how the young guys. I mean, I think I've been one of the people that have been very high on DeMarcus Riddick. He was like the first person I made a starter whenever I started my Auburn dynasty on College Football 25, just because of how athletic he is. He was an immediate user pick for me. But another guy I'm excited to see, because I find it hilarious. Auburn has found a way to pick up 2 X-factor level interior defensive linemen, both named Malik, in back-to-back classes. Because Malik Blockton was a guy that I was able to hear about firsthand last season. I got to experience what people were doing to scheme for Blockton from last year, and the scheme was exactly the same thing as, oh, there he is. Let's flip the play, and he still balled out. I just want to see clean football. I'm okay with I think I'm going to go my same prediction as last year. I think Jeremiah Cobb is going to lead the team in rushing yards. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of the starters after the first quarter. Or after the second quarter, I'll say. Because I think Auburn get up to a pretty hefty lead and try to see what works, which wide receivers are looking better than advertised, or looking as advertised. Because I just saw Malcolm Simmons change his number to number 11. So I'm excited to see what Walker White's number would look like if he gets in on Saturday, but I don't think he would. Overall, I just want to see a unit on both sides of the ball that look competent enough to win football games, because that's something we didn't get to see a lot last year, where a lot of the weeks that Auburn tried to play, and it looked like they just were not a cohesive unit. And I get Alabama A&M. It's basically a spring game part 2. But I want to see that from Auburn. I want to see a team that looks like a team. And you've gotten Hugh Freeze, who is advertising every single person's offense. And Hugh Freeze has been very honest about every single player. If a player's not playing well, Hugh Freeze will say they're not playing well. So that's something I admire about what Hugh Freeze has been saying about the team. But I just want to see Auburn playing as if they want to beat Georgia, Oklahoma, A&M, Alabama, Missouri, and on down the road.
Yeah. Listen, I said this on the show. I went on an A&M podcast yesterday talking about this game, and I was like, listen, man, Auburn fans are not going to be happy if this game isn't an absolute beatdown. Like, let's just be clear. So it's not personal. I was like, just don't take it personal. They're going to go out there and they're going to try to destroy this team. Because I think the taste of last year's failure is still lingering in a lot of players. And then the new guys want to go out there and they want to prove the hype is we're worth all the hype. So I think they're going to go out there and try to absolutely destroy this team Saturday.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel bad. I feel bad, but I don't, because I want to see it.
Real quick. I remember I was a member of Fellowship of Christian Athletes when I was in school at Auburn, and we used to go to this place, Shaco Springs, and so you know Shaco Springs.
Yeah,
Dylan?
I went to Shaco Springs.
Yeah, right. It's like in the woods of Tennessee, right?
It's a water park. No, it's not. Shaco Springs is the water
it's like
park.
It's like a campground kind of
yeah.
deal, yeah, right. But it's very destitute, and we didn't have cell phones back then. Anyway, the FCAs from a lot of the other schools in state, including Alabama A&M, would attend this retreat, and there were some A&M football players. I'll never forget them jarring with King Dunlap and Carnell about how they would whoop Auburn up and down the field. And so somebody broke out a football, and they were getting ready to run a little scrimmage right there in the middle of the woods in Tennessee. And the coaches came out and stopped it. But I was so ready for this. I was ready. I was the referee too. I was the referee. It was amazing. It was going to be something amazing. Alabama, they have a lot of bluster up there, A&M. They do. And it's funny because every year you hear this, they do believe they can win that game. You have to show them why they're wrong in about 12 minutes.
Yeah,
in a game like this.
You can't let teams like this believe.
Can't let them believe. Yeah,
the longer that it feels like they're in the game, the more that they start to.
Yeah, they go in believing that they can win, right? Like in their head, no matter how delusional it sounds to them, but you can't help their delusion at all because once you get to the third quarter and it's still a game, anything can happen.
Well, even the worst Auburn team took down Alabama A&M 51-7 in 2012.
Let's keep that trend going.
All right, we're gonna go and try to get these tickets in someone's possession here. So, Mike G, are you ready to reveal a name for who won?
I am, guys. We appreciate everybody for joining the live cast today. You stuck with us for an hour and 14 minutes, and so we're giving away tickets to the Cal game. You can watch Sam Jackson battle his former team. And the person that's going to be doing that is Virginia Double Dribble.
Hey,
if he's here, it's Virginia Double Dribble here.
I don't know. He's been quiet during the broadcast.
Yeah, boy. Listen, we got down to like the third or fourth one last week.
Yeah,
we'll give him a little time to after. Get here. He was like, "Man, I got left alone with the kids by my wife. I'm divorcing her."
So we'll go to the comment section here. Brad Browning was echoing the oars on the defensive depth chart.
They don't want you to know who's starting there.
Yeah. Well, Coach Hugh Freeze doesn't believe in depth charts anyway. So
not week one. He doesn't.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. AU alum jumped in and said, "Truth be told, this year versus last year, QB. Truth will be told this year. Was it last year the QB or the wide receivers? Time will tell." This is only partially true, right? There were so many other things that changed besides just the wide receivers that it's not going to just like this is what I want to not see happen is the offense looks better and people are like, see, it was the wide receivers. There's too many other factors to put in there to say it was just a wide receiver thing. However, the wide receivers were part of the problem. Like, let's just be honest. They had issues with things in that wide receiver unit, but Coach Hugh Freeze has been clear in saying some of those issues are still happening with these young receivers right now about missed assignments and not being where they need to be, when they need to be, or understanding what the call is in certain situations. So that's where you have to be patient if you're an Auburn fan and say, okay, maybe it's not going to be gangbusters like it needs to be out the gate, but you've got enough talent where it shouldn't be a problem in this game. But
yeah,
I don't think it's as simple as one or the other. I think it was actually both last year.
They're also ignoring the play calling issues from last year.
That's what I'm saying.
There's the Tower of Babel going on.
So many issues.
Yeah, Payne Thorne said he wasn't allowed to make checks at the line. Like, there's just a lot of things. You fired the offensive coordinator. So, that's the only reason I disagree with AU alone 94 here, just a little bit. Yeah. It's going to be hard to pinpoint one thing or the other. But, like, if it suddenly all gets better, there were so many things that were wrong. Can you really point to just Thorne or the wide receivers or the play call? And you change all of it is different.
Yeah, the answer is D, all of the above. And let's just make sure that the only one that's still left from that equation was not still an issue this year, and that's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Tim Toolmain Taylor says we aren't going to talk crazy about MacGyver.
What you got against? I don't have anything against MacGyver.
He was just saying when you said you'd rather watch MacGyver than that game.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I didn't mean it as a negative versus MacGyver.
MacGyver's a good, healthy alternative.
Yeah, agree.
Sub-0251 says, I ain't trying to be a wide receiver or a tight end in the bedroom. All pause on the tight end.
Oh man, yeah. I love this show. This is amazing.
Still have not seen Virginia double dribbled in the comment section, by the way. So
he's got 60 seconds here before I redraw. Let's take some more comments and we'll redraw.
Let's see. Chess says my expectation is for us to be up enough for Holden to get to play. I like this. If you see the third quarterback, that means you were definitely putting a lot of points.
Yeah, I want to see Holden play, but Hank Brown does not have enough experience that I think you can take reps away from him if you end up needing him later in the year for one reason or the other. So, whoever's number 2, they need a chance to run this offense and get that experience on the field. Hank has about a quarter and a half of it. Let him get a whole another quarter and a half in this one if you can.
Yeah, I listen. Again, I don't want. If Peyton Thorne plays in the second half of this game, I'm going to be upset because that means that there was enough that they didn't like what they saw that they feel like they still need to work on stuff during the game.
Yeah.
In that first half, like just and I think it's important that even if it's not perfect, that they let, like you said, the backup get some run and have an actual opportunity to go out there and play a little bit. So second half, turn it over to QB2, and then the final 2 or 3 drives of the fourth quarter, you get to your third quarterback and let them go out there.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's redraw real quick because I don't see you see him. Anybody see Virginia double dribbled?
No.
Virginia did double dribble, but he double dribbled here by not being here. So our next winner is Jonathan Boyson, 1934.
Jonathan Boyson, also a fixture in the comment section. I haven't seen him comment.
Are you born in 1934 or like what's the 1934 about? Is that just your favorite year?
Big Homie Lander says we will not cover. We will not cover. Doesn't feel like Auburn gets enough points to cover in this game, or gives up enough points that they don't cover in this game. I don't know, fam. I think we might be able to get that one, man. 40. I think a 40 piece is on the download. What was it? The spread was what, 43?
47.5.
Yeah,
that is a pretty big spread.
It is. But if they cover, we're gonna have a really fun day.
Oh, didn't they cover that last year against was it Akron? Did they cover that with Akron?
The first game last year was UMass.
UMass. I'm thinking 3 years ago, however long it was. I don't remember what the spread was for.
That's good. I mean, there weren't a lot of games I think Auburn covered last year.
Yeah.
So,
159-14 last year.
Y'all really don't want these tickets, huh?
Alan Bonner jumps in and says, hopefully Peyton's completion percentage goes up and interceptions go down. That would be ideal.
Mid-60s would be good for him, guys. Mid-60s completion percentage would be 4 to 5 percentage points. Hey, listen, that puts Auburn in a lot of games. Some of those critical passes are being made, and I think that's a reasonable improvement year over year. It feels like to compete for the SEC, your quarterback's got to be high 60s, low 70s these days. But, yeah.
I can't lie. Even if Peyton Thorne was 100% completion and 0 interceptions last year, I think I would still find this statement true.
Jonathan Boyson's here.
Hey,
we didn't have to go to the fourth person this time. Woo. Jonathan, sir, respond to your we got to know it's you for real, but respond to your community post where you put War Damn tickets, and then email us to serve business at the War Rapport, and we will verify that it is you before we transfer the tickets. But congratulations, man, you're going to see Cal take on the Auburn Tigers in Jordan-Hare Stadium. And we're going to stop by. Ike and I are going to try to stop by to say, when you guys win these tickets, we go buy the seats. It's the same seats every year. We renew these tickets and see if we can do a little meet and greet and take a selfie with you guys. So
we'll be there.
Congrats, Jonathan. Thank you for being a loyal subscriber and listener.
Yeah, Jonathan's always showing up. Chris S. asked Mike G, shutout?
No shutouts this year, guys. No shutouts. And today's college football, shutouts are hard, man.
It is difficult to keep someone out of the end zone in today's college football. I think Auburn's defense is good. I don't know if they're shutout good.
Yeah, I expect them to score a lot of points, which means the other team is going to have the ball in their hands a lot because there's going to be some quick scores on Saturday, and they'll make them. The second team will make a mistake or two, probably give them a short field. It's the last shutout Auburn got during the season where I call like 8 of them. They had to block a field goal to preserve the shutout. I don't know if you guys remember. I forgot what game it was.
It was Alabama State.
Yeah. They blocked a field goal to preserve the shutout. It was a lot of fun. I was like, come on, block it, shutout.
I don't know. UL Monroe feels like a shutout game. UL Monroe is like one of the worst teams in college football.
Yeah, UL Monroe could be a shutout.
General Booty. I don't know if he'll be able to score many points.
Yeah,
General Booty.
I am not looking forward to the puns that are going to emerge that week when we get to that game. All right, but any final words on this one before we get out of here?
Everybody do your job, right?
Yeah.
This is year 2 of the Hugh Freeze era, right? And I've been on record, and I'm staying on record as saying I don't think that you got to win 9-10 games for this to be a successful season for Hugh Freeze. You just have to move the needle the right directions, cream the teams that you should, right? Beat the snot out of these Alabama A&Ms and the ULMs and the Vandies, right? And the New Mexicos of the world, right? And then you got to get a game that nobody expects you to get. But it starts by handling business on Saturday. Because a lot of that enthusiasm that everybody feels from the recruiting momentum, it can all go south and sour on you quickly. The mob is fickle. The mob is real fickle. If you can't field a competent offense, and this is an offensive game in today's college football. So last year, they were as bad as they could be offensively in a lot of areas. This year, people are expecting the offensive guru to turn this thing around. That's what he hung his hat on. Now, he blamed the talent a little bit more than I would have liked last year, especially since we know there were systemic issues. But I saw action immediately after the season. You got rid of the offensive coordinator. You brought in some guys, right? Like you hit the portal. You made the changes. I think a lot of fans wanted to see a change at the quarterback position, but yeah, I like this route by Hugh Freeze. You invested in Peyton Thorne. Make it work. Make it work. This is his last year of college football. You owe this to Peyton to make this work. I'll say that again for the people in the back. He owes it to Peyton. You brought him here into a mess last year. And then he took the heat for it. This man got on social media and he was getting fried. So I don't, like I said, I think that Hugh Freeze has this charge. I think he takes it seriously, and I think it starts on Saturday, man. Get this season kicked off in the right direction. It doesn't have to be perfect. Right? It doesn't have to be, everything on tape doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be clearly better than what Auburn saw last year. Now, I believe there were 4 games that Peyton Thorne had last year where he didn't throw for 100 yards. And maybe 2 others where he barely broke that mark. Like 100 on the dot and like 102.
It was disgusting.
But that's not all on Peyton. 1,200 yards of regression year over year is not on him. That's on you, Hugh. So do good for these kids this year, man. And you know, $6 million a year, bro. Like, let's get some results, because I'd love to be talking about a huge fat extension at the end of the year because it went well and recruiting is looking good. And, you know, let's get this thing rolling. It's, you know, we've been longing for it. It's wild to think that Auburn hasn't had a winning season in 3 years. I never thought that has not happened in my lifetime as an Auburn fan. 3 years without a winning season. I don't know if they've had back-to-back losing seasons since I've been a fan. You know,
well, all I know this year better not be a repeat of that.
It can't be. Can't be 4 straight. So they'll go out and they'll get it done, and I'm excited to see what it looks like. And you know, you keep this thing going, because if you get this thing started off 5-0, maybe you lose to Georgia and Missouri, but you know, by the time they get
we beating everybody. F them. I mean, it's book mode, bro. F all that commentator bull crap, man. No, Georgia's taking the L, Missouri's taking the L, Kentucky's taking the L. F every last one of them.
Yeah,
F them all and they mom.
Yeah, week 6 and 7 on that one. But look, it's gonna be I think it's gonna be better, and it has to be better if you're Hugh Freeze. So he's got the right attitude. I noticed he seemed like he was in a good mood this week. That's good, because when he's coming to press conferences in a bad mood, it has not gone well. So yeah, I like the things that I heard from him. Just, you hope the young guys come along and they pick up those assignments that he said that they're missing. And everybody, let's party. Let's party after the game on Saturday.
Yeah, man, I'm going to get a roll of toilet paper. I don't even get a chance to go to Tumors. I ain't gonna even cap for y'all like I'm finna be out there at Tumors, man. We have too much stuff going on game day. But yo, like y'all make sure that listen, celebrate all of them, man. Don't let these salty fans from these other fan bases be like, look at Auburn celebrating a win over A&M. You dang right we celebrate. We celebrating all of them. It's what we do. We celebrate victories. But y'all jaded, unable to appreciate life, miserable selves, man. No, you're not finna pigeonhole me into that BS.
All right.
I hate all of them, dog. All of them. Hate every last one of them. Next week I'm gonna hate Cal. I hate them all.
Is our girl Carice was in here talking about Auburn. I think Auburn's gonna go 9-3. I was like, is she okay? Like
she's been saying that the entire
has
time.
She? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
she only has like 5 phrases programmed into her.
Okay, it's her bot.
Yeah, only has 5 phrases programmed. So, and that's
Johnny
one
Barner.
Which I will say, I just need Auburn this year to take a one game at a time. Don't look ahead to your opponent.
Yeah, one game.
Agreed.
One play at a time. No muff punts. No stupid mistakes. Nothing that anything that can be prevented, prevent it.
Yeah, they're going to when you got young guys, they're going to be stupid mistakes, right?
Yeah,
like what you want to see is a mostly disciplined team, right? Where those aren't mistakes that are costing you the game.
Well,
right.
This is why you go and get talented players because they're able to overcome the fact that it's not perfect because they can just go out there and make
plays. Yeah, that's what Saban and Kirby have on everybody right now. When the game gets tight, they don't have to make the perfect call because they have players that can just go out and catch the imperfectly thrown ball.
Yeah, freaking Brock Bowers was out there catching
one-handed
behind him, one-handed at the end. Like,
come on, man, those weren't
that's why you get guys like Cam Coleman on your team so that Peyton Thorne doesn't have to be special. He just has to be all right. Throw the ball in the zip code, and he is going to figure out a way to get there.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Man, I'm not. Listen, bro. Listen, man. Don't make me mad, bro. Don't make me go. I don't want to get on here being mad Sunday because this game was even remotely close. It doesn't need to be remotely close. I don't want A&M to feel like they sniffed a victory.
Now, I will say this. It's common, I think, first game of the season, especially when you've made a lot of changes in personnel, to have slow starts.
Fine.
Yeah. We've seen that. Yeah, we've
by
seen slow starts. By
halftime, it needs to be clear. Oh, okay. All right.
21 points or more. Yeah.
All right. We're done.
Yeah, we're done here.
So I'm not mad if the first drive isn't a 4-play touchdown drive, right? I'm not mad if we kick a field goal on the first drive. I am upset if drive 2 we don't come out there. Like, I am upset if the first drive's a 3 and out.
Yeah.
I am upset if drive 2 ends in a punt because we couldn't move the ball into field goal range. Then I'm gonna be like, yo, what are we doing?
I have a question.
By the third drive of this game that Auburn has, A&M better not have scored points, and Auburn needs to be scoring touchdowns every single time they touch.
Yeah. First play of the game, run or pass?
Pass.
Dylan?
It's going to be an RPO, so it's going to be whatever the defense. They're going to call RPO on the first play.
Okay, but are they going to run it or pass?
Yeah,
that's going to be the defense is going to
set the tone early. Halfback dive right the middle of jerk.
Okay, all right, yeah, all right.
I would love to see them just go out there and say, "I don't." This is what I would want to see. A&M comes out there and stacks the box, and they say, "F it, we're running it anyway," just to prove you guys can't. You can't. We're gonna big boy you down the field. I don't care if it's only 4 yards, but like take their will out off the jump and be like, "Oh, you want to put 7, 8 guys in the box? Fine. We will run into that and still go and get yardage out of it to make you feel like, yo, what the? We had everybody stacked in here. They're not supposed to run the ball right here."
2013 Auburn versus Arkansas, just halfback zone the entire game.
That will make Oda blow a gasket if we go out there and do that this game.
Yeah.
All right, man. Listen, that's enough for us talking about this. We got so much more that we have to talk about. The question was asked, and if you don't know, we are in fact doing Facts and All Fridays. We have already had our first one of the season, so Facts and All is back. So y'all make sure y'all are tuning in on Friday. But we got a lot more coverage coming. But Mike G, take the people out of here. Tell them all the things they need to be doing to support the War Report Podcast Network.
Guys, you know the deal. I asked Peyton for 599 passing yards on Saturday, but you can give us 599 cents and you'll have a membership. That's right. That's good math, right? 599 cents. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. 599 cents, guys, a month. That's all it costs to be micro sponsor of our channel. If you want to see more Dylan Lark, look, man, Dylan doesn't come cheap. So we need you guys to sign up so we can bring Dylan on more here. You can also give the gift of the War Report. I saw some gifted memberships given away. We always appreciate that. It feels like it happens every live show. So we appreciate our community for helping us.
Drake just did 20 of them. So there
you go. Help us grow our Green Name Gang. Also, this show is brought to you in part by the Autograph app. Go to your phone's app store and download the Autograph app for all your team content. Every article read, every podcast listened to earns you rewards and coins that you can use on rewards. Also, you can buy tickets through the app, guys. They don't charge all the fees of a Ticketmaster or a Vivid. It's just straightforward, no gimmicks. Download the Autograph app in your phone's app store today. Also want to thank show sponsor Manscaped. Visit manscaped.com and use code REPORT to get 20% off plus free shipping at Manscaped. Haley put an interesting message there letting us know that she has taken advantage of this code for her man. Also, visit rogueshop.com and use code FREEZE5.
I missed that one.
For whatever ails you in life. Look, man, the game might get tight on Saturday. We hope not. But if Auburn is going to worry you, the Rogue Shop has something to keep you covered. Pain, sleep, stress, and especially anxiety on game day. Visit the Rogue Shop. Use code FREEZE5. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank show sponsor the Vintage 2298 Restaurant and Butcher Shop. The address is right there in the name. Visit 2298 East University Drive for some of the best food you will ever have in your life, but definitely in town. Our guy Chef Randall Baldwin is up there serving up dreams at Vintage 2298. Guys, they sponsor the food for our firesides. So like if you watch those firesides, they send chefs out to cook on the grill. They're great partners with the War Report, so we appreciate them for sponsoring us.
Yes, indeed. We appreciate all of you who are dropping in here. Make sure you go ahead and share this video with somebody so they can rewatch it later and get upset. Make sure you tag a fan. Look, I don't ask y'all to do this a lot, but tag fans from other fan bases so that they can come in here and get mad at the things that I've said about their teams. I plan on being an absolute villain this year when talking about these other teams and their fan bases. So I want to see them come in here and get upset at me. That is my mission this year. I am going to piss off at least one fan from an opposing fan base every show. Hold me to it. Like the video before you get out of here. I trust me. I got ammo for Vandy. Don't worry about it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow us on social media. TW Report on TikTok. Dylan, before we get out of here, man, tell the people how they can get in touch with you over at the College Loop, man.
Of course, you can go check out the College Loop right here on YouTube. You can also go check us out on social media. It's at the College Loop, literally everywhere. It's on the hat too, which you can go to the merch shop and get that. You also find me on Twitter as well at your boy the Tank. It's at YABOI the Tank. You can go check me out there. I tweet dumb stuff. I tweet like I talk. If I say something stupid, I'm like, oh, this is funny. I'll tweet it.
All right.
I ain't mad at it, man.
He's a man of honesty.
That's it, man. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you guys at least Friday. I might have some stuff for y'all tomorrow. I'm still working that out. But Green Name Gang, make sure y'all keep y'all notifications on because I will be at y'all tomorrow with something for sure. But until the next time, and as always, War Eagle. Peace.